Heyo, and what's up, gang? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us once again for some more breaking news. And it's not really spectacular news, but it is some stuff that I read that I do want to touch upon, and we are going to do that. When are we going to do that, you may ask? Well, right here and right now on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Welcome back once again to the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. I am your host, Nick Nightmare, thanking every single one of you guys that came out this week and subscribed. We have 20 new subscribers over the last couple of days off the power of the Billy Corgan NWA story. And once again, just thank you guys so much for joining and being part of the Sledgehammer TV family. And without further ado, we are going to get into today's news and rumors and stuff from the world of professional wrestling. And we're going to start it off with something I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is today in pro wrestling history. Now, this fact comes to us thanks to CagesideSeats.com, and today in pro wrestling history marks the 33rd anniversary since Kerry Von Erich defeated the Nature Boy Ric Flair for the NWA title at the David Von Erich Memorial Parade of Champions show at Texas Stadium. The significance of this show cannot even be measured appropriately. For those of you who do not know, David Von Erich, who suddenly passed away at a show in Japan, at the behest of his family, who did not even want him to go. They had seen that he had not been feeling well, or just looked off, or whatever the story may be, and they did not want him going to Japan. They wanted him to stay home, and he ended up passing away while in Japan due to complications with his heart. And this show was originally booked to be the coronation of David Von Erich as the NWA heavyweight champion. Now, you know, Ric Flair would tell you, anybody who wrestled down in world-class championship wrestling could tell you, that David Von Erich was widely considered the next big thing. His popularity, at least in Texas and in the Southwest region, could have rivaled the guys like Hogan. He was right up there with Ric Flair and the rest of the guys. And it is important to remember that simple fact, that David Von Erich was supposed to beat Ric Flair this night, and Kerry Von Erich would get the nod and would end up winning the title instead. It didn't have the same impact. It had a different kind of emotional feel to it. I mean, everybody kind of expected Kerry Von Erich to win this match. It was a tribute to his brother. It was his brother's memorial show. Like, how could Kerry Von Erich have possibly lost this match? And this is not a move that the NWA was happy with, and you could find in the history books very quickly they had Kerry Von Erich drop the title, and I believe it was right back to the Nature Boy within the next couple of weeks, and then Kerry would end up moving on to the WWE, where we all would learn of him as the Texas Tornado, which I hated, that gimmick. I mean, I thought the guy was fantastic, but I just didn't like the name, the Texas Tornado. And again, that spot was probably being reserved for David. And you can see in Kerry Von Erich that there was just a sadness always in his eyes, and I think it's because he knew everything he got was only a result of his brother's passing. And that couldn't feel good, no matter who you are. So that was our first ever today in pro wrestling history, and thank you for sitting through that. And now, let's go on to the current time and news and stuff. I'm a little off today. In case you couldn't tell, I'm just a slight tad off. And I don't know what it is. but maybe it was a rough weekend that I had, or whole week if I'm going to be honest. But we're not going to get into my personal week and everything that's going on. We are going to get into some more wrestling news. And this story is especially for my friends in the United Kingdom and across the pond. You guys are awesome. I have a very large portion of my fans and subscribers and people that watch this show are joining us from the United Kingdom and Europe and actually all across the world, to be fair. And I want to thank each and every one of you. And if I knew how to say thank you in a million languages, I would do it right now. But I don't. So just know that I thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. Worldwide, baby. We're going worldwide. And this particular tidbit is for our friends in the UK. At yesterday's WWE United Kingdom TV tapings in Norwich, it was announced that there will be a United Kingdom title match at NXT TakeOver Chicago on May the 20th. Pete Dunne, who's quickly became my favorite guy in the UK tournament. This guy is like the English Triple H, bro. He's just a badass. He doesn't give a shit who he hurts. He doesn't care what he does. He's there to win. He's there to hurt people, and that's what he's going to do. And Pete Dunne is absolutely fantastic. Albeit, he may look a little bit like Jesse from the Bad News Bears, only, really jacked up. That's kind of dated. I don't know if you guys all know. Anybody my age remembers the Bad News Bears, and the badass Jesse, the older kid that wasn't supposed to be on the team, and he just had a particular look to his face, and he reminds me, for some reason, of Pete Dunne. And Pete Dunne will face Trent Seven. Trent Seven is I think he's that guy with the mustache, and that he was totally entertaining. One half of the Mustache Mountain Tag Team, I believe they're called. All you guys in the UK, if I'm off on any of my stats here, don't feel, please, I compel you to help me learn my UK stuff right down there in the comments below. Let me know if I screw up, man. I have no problem in learning and adapting on the fly, and I want to be right. I don't want to say the wrong thing, so let me know. Get at me. It was confirmed that the UK tapings were being filmed to eventually air on the WWE Network. Pete Dunne will face Trent Seven at tomorrow's tapings to decide, well, that would be today, at today's tapings to decide who gets the title shot. WWE is putting on a total of 5 live events, and both Raw and SmackDown had shows on this European tour, where there's a lot of shenanigans going on, by the way. We got people breaking kayfabe all over the place. We got people doing a tight pants dance. And we got people taking pictures with their most hated and heated rivals. All kinds of things that shouldn't be going on. But that's neither here nor there. They're in Europe. They're on vacation. They're having a ball. And I like being able to see on Twitter. Like, it doesn't really bother me too much that they're breaking kayfabe. I'm an adult. I understand how it works. There's real life and then there's the screen. And as long as they're not jumping out and doing the tight pants dance song all together, all the heels and faces in one big group on Monday Night Raw as part of the show, then I really don't have a problem with them doing it on a random friggin' Saturday afternoon just to make everybody laugh and be entertaining. It's good stuff. Speaking of entertaining, Brie Bella has posted a video on the Bella Twins YouTube channel. It is a video update about her pregnancy. After having to spend the night at the hospital, there were issues with her baby's breathing and that it had to be monitored, but everything, as of right now, is fine. Brie Bella is 5 days past her due date right now, and she looks completely uncomfortable in it. I hope that Birdie decides to fly the coop sometime soon, because Mama needs to get some comfort back. You could see it in her face. As much as she's trying to put it on, that she's excited and she's happy, because every woman is when you're pregnant, but then you just hit that point where it's just like, I want this baby out and we're done, and I just want to be a mom already. And that's where you could see deep in the eyes of Brie Bella, and I hope, it could be happening right now. As I'm uploading this video, as I'm recording this video, as you're watching this video, she could be giving birth to little Birdie Danielson, and I will keep you guys abreast of that situation as it develops. In one of our main stories, Thaddeus Bullard, nice name, Thaddeus, who works as Titus O'Neil, who we do not enjoy on this channel, had a lawsuit filed against him in Los Angeles County Superior Court stemming from an incident filming the WWE Network show Swerved. TMZ originally dropped this story. Donald Anderson, who works on Swerved as a cameraman, claimed the incident took place on May the 18th, 2015. So we're talking almost 2 years ago. And now this guy's bringing this up, and he is suing Titus O'Neil for more than 1.2 million in damages. What could Titus O'Neil have done to this guy to warrant 1.2 mil? Let's read on. According to this complaint, Bullard, that's Titus, was zapped with an electric shock as part of the show. Now, if you've never seen Swerve, they do a skit where they have you sit, and during an interview, a fake interview, they have somebody buzz you in the ass with a zapper. And it's very entertaining and it's funny to us to watch, but I would be just absolutely pissed off if it happened to me. Let's continue to read on. Anderson claimed that when that happened, Bullard kicked the camera out of his hands, causing serious injury to his hand, fingers, and wrist. Really? Anderson said that when it happened, he was told to leave the premises immediately for fear of further attacks. What does that mean? That doesn't really shed light on anything. Does that mean that Titus got zapped, got pissed off, stood up, and kicked this guy's camera off his face? That would warrant a lawsuit. And how we're just hearing about this now, 2 years later removed from the incident, is just friggin' stupid. Absolutely stupid. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy probably was released from the company and is now just looking for his 2 cents, man. Or his $1.2 million for his little hand and wrist injury. What, are you not be able to use a camera anymore? You need to fucking sue Titus O'Neil. Listen, I'm no fan. Like we saw this thing, I could care less about Titus O'Neil. Alright? But $1.2 million from a guy that probably don't even make that much in a year. And why? Because you got him with some unexpected prank and he kicked the camera out of your hand as you were filming him, probably while he was asking you to stop filming me. Because that's what you bastards do. And now Titus O'Neil is going to be on the hook with this fucking guy. I don't believe it. And then they told the guy to leave. So that's why I think maybe Titus got mad. So the situation escalated and he was very angry. So they told the guy, get out of here before he kicks your camera again. You know, I don't know. As of now, the 40-year-old Titus O'Neil, has not commented on the suit. A former University of Florida football player, he was signed by the WWE in 2009, unfortunately. After spending time in FCW, he was part of NXT's second season, which was miserable, and was officially called up to the main roster in April 2012, much to the chagrin of all of us, and has done absolutely nothing outside of being one half of the primetime players that has warranted any of my attention. And I could care less about Titus O'Neil on the show. We really don't care about him in real life, but this is the news. This is what we got. Like I said, it's a slow news week, and this is what I got to share. But it's what's out there, and that's what we're here for. We're going to talk about it. Titus O'Neil getting sued by the Swerved cameraman. Interesting. We'll see if there's any more on this that comes out throughout the week. Hopefully not, because I really don't see why this should be made an important situation. They should just totally put the kibosh on this whole thing. WWE maybe should step in and just pay the guy, come to terms on some sort of settlement, and let Titus O'Neil, leave the fucking guy alone. It's bad enough they can't figure out how to use him right on the show. Now he's got to go through a lawsuit because they put him on some stupid prank show without his knowledge. This is all the WWE's fault. This is how things are run down there. They don't even know what the hell's going on, left or right. I'm on a show, I'm not on a show. I got swerved, and I kicked the guy, and now I'm getting sued. Poor guy. In more positive news, and in our final story of the evening, the Perfect 10, Tye Dillinger, wrestled his final NXT show this weekend in San Diego, California, and he gave a thankful send-off to the crowd and crew to close out his time on the Yellow brand. Tye Dillinger says, and I quote, "It's been an incredible 3+ years here in NXT, and I could spend hours upon hours thanking everybody who has gotten me to this point." Dillinger then thanked the locker room, backstage production staff, announce team, referees, and the camera crew. He then specifically thanked producer Ryan Katz, who I believe is now the lead writer on SmackDown Live. "If not for him," Dillinger says, "there would be no Perfect 10. Finally, he thanked the crowd for allowing the NXT roster into their homes, into their cities, into their lives. At the end of the day, each and every single one of us do this for each and every single one of you." That was his closing statement to the fans. He then took a final 10 chant and bow in front of the crowd and in front of the NXT locker room that all came out to support Tye Dillinger on his journey to the top. But not before making one last perfect response to the crowd's U.S. champ chants that were being directed at Tye Dillinger, to which he responds, "Kevin Owens, I'm coming to see you." And Tye Dillinger rides off into the NXT sunset and rides on to the blue skies of SmackDown Live. And he's going to be a great fit in there. And I think him calling out Kevin Owens, as of right now, sets the seeds for something that would be absolutely fantastic. Kevin Owens versus Tye Dillinger for the United States Championship, with Dillinger giving chase to Owens. They are two polar opposites as far as body type, style, character. Body types, differences make matches. Differing styles make matches. This is something that has been echoed throughout the history of time, whether it be boxing or martial arts or mixed martial arts or pro wrestling. And that's the news today, guys. That's pretty much it. I'm excited at the prospect of Tye Dillinger coming up and maybe challenging Kevin Owens for the U.S. Championship. I'm not very excited about the fact that the WWE can't seem to what's the word we're looking for? The WWE cannot seem to transition guys from NXT to the main roster correctly, with the exception of maybe Kevin Owens, and that's a heavy maybe, because Kevin Owens is not the Kevin Owens from NXT. Sami Zayn is a joke, and the trend seemingly is going to continue with Shinsuke Nakamura, the artist formerly known as the King of Strong Style. Why they could not use that? I mean, it's built-in success. He's the King of Strong Style. Nobody does Strong Style in WWE. That's what he's known for. And we are going to bring him in, and we are going to call him the Artist.
Can somebody tell me why we're calling him the Artist?
Vince McMahon might have asked. And then the jerk off in the corner goes, "Well, you know, he's a big fan of Michael Jackson. Look at the jacket he wears, the colors, and he does the whole, you know, like Thriller type dance, and he's got Michael Jacksonisms in his movements and stuff, you know, Mr. McMahon. So we gotta do that, you know, we gotta let him be the Artist. It's just like Michael Jackson."
It's great. Green light it. We're gonna do it right now. Done? Call him the Artist. Make a t-shirt.
Where the Artist is actually from Prince. Any of us knows this. You probably knew where I was going with it as soon as I started talking about it. That whole thing is a Prince thing. And Shinsuke Nakamura is a big fan of the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. The King of Strong Style loves the King of Pop. He does, as far, at least to my knowledge, he does not mold himself after Prince. Prince, I do not believe, is one of his inspirations. I could be wrong. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Prince. He certainly is a showman, was a showman, as is Shinsuke Nakamura. The comparison can be drawn between the two, but you're calling him the artist and then going on record giving references to his love for Michael Jackson. You're making yourself look even stupider than you actually are by doing this, because a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura needs no filler. He just needs to be the king of strong style. If you didn't want to call him the king of strong style because you don't want him to have the moniker of king in any way because he didn't earn it or whatever, why? It doesn't matter. You don't use King of the Ring anyway. You don't have a king anymore, so let him walk around being the king of strong style. But no, we have to take that away from him. We're going to bring him down to the WWE level. We're going to call him the artist, Mr. McMahon. We're going to call him the artist. I think that's going to be the best way to get him over with the fans. People are not going to want to see him every week. We gotta make it special. We're gonna make him the artist. I hate it. He is the king of strong style. Shinsuke Nakamura is on thin ice already. Because, not as far as with us, because the fans obviously love him. I love him. We all love Shinsuke Knox. Alright? He's fantastic. He's one of the best things to happen to the WWE. Best import from the Far East by far. And I don't want to see them ruin it. And they already seemingly have done just that. And I'll tell you what else is ruined. And, segue from Shinsuke Nakamura into Hideo Itami on NXT. When he first debuted years ago, I was into it. I got it. The fanfare was coming. It was really the first big name from New Japan and all that stuff that was being hyped on NXT. He came in under his former name, and then they changed it to Hideo Itami. And then he got injured and went away. And in the time that he was injured, we were fortunate enough to be exposed to Shinsuke Nakamura. And on top of that, during the Cruiserweight Classic, we were showcased with a worldwide buffet of talent, which included guys like Akira Tozawa and Ho-Ho Loon, who, as ridiculous as his name is, was absolutely fantastic in the ring. So we got these guys now from the Far East that have come over and have just absolutely kicked the doors down. Shinsuke Nakamura is everything that they wanted for Hideo Itami. And now it's never going to happen. Here's a guy that has very little charisma, who does not do well on the mic, who solid talent in the ring, but his finishing move is only going to always make everybody think of CM Punk, even though, calm down nerds, Hideo Itami is the originator of the go to sleep. It is technically his move to use. But when you are giving it back to the WWE Universe, who have only been exposed to it under CM Punk, that's what you're linking yourself to from now till the end of time. So change your finishing move. Use the go to sleep because it's yours, but make up something new that can be Hideo Itami's. I just don't see it. There's nothing there. You hold up Shinsuke Nakamura next to Hideo Itami, you're going to take Shinsuke every time. Akira Tozawa's got way more charisma and personality than Hideo Itami. Like I said before, Ho-Ho Loon, the Davari, everybody, every single person that took part in the Cruiserweight Classic outshines Hideo Itami. There's just no comparison. And this is not a knock on the guy. It's just a matter of bad timing. The guy came in at the right time, but got hurt at the wrong time. His injury kept him out way too long, only for him to come back and get injured again, and then be out again, and have all these guys show up again, more and more faces just pushing him out. And now we got guys like Chris Hero coming in as Cassius Ohno, which I hate, but that's another story for another day. And Hideo Itami being just, coming back again and being placed into the number one spot against Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship. I know it's a one-stop for him to get to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Whatever they have planned for him that way. And I can't buy into Hideo Itami. And, obviously it has nothing to do with who he is or his skin or whatever, because I'm decked out in Shinsuke stuff. Alright? So it's just, he missed a shot. His window's closed. Shinsuke is the man. He's going to be the one that did what Triple H and the WWE thought Hideo was going to be the one to do. And that's just expose the world to the New Japan style, to this new style of wrestling, and just be so damn big and so damn over that they gotta call him up to the main roster. Didn't happen. And I personally, at this point, don't think it will. Thank you for indulging my little editorial there on Shinsuke, Shinny Knock Knock, Nakamura, and why he's the reason that Hideo Itami will probably never succeed in the WWE. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This has been a very mild but wild on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show today, because like I said, nothing groundbreaking, nothing big, but some crazy stuff, crazy stories going on. Thank you so much for watching. We got more stuff coming down the wire as of right now, but we are not going to do any of that now. We're going to collect our thoughts. We're going to make another show, as we always do. We got Raw and SmackDown this week. We didn't do reviews. We kind of stopped doing reviews because nobody watches them. They're just look at my stats. They're the lowest viewed things on my channel, and it's very hard to get the review up. Raw goes off the air so late. I'm up out of the house so early, and then I'm gone at work all day. By the time I get a review of Raw up, it's going to be like Wednesday morning. In which case, everybody's going to be talking about SmackDown. So what's the point? So I kind of stopped doing that. We're just going to keep coming at you with more and more great wrestling-style shows just like this one, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Don't forget to check out our Superstar Spotlight on Braun Strowman. If you've been active in the comments, your name has been featured up in the Super Fan Spotlight right here in the corner. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being warriors on the keyboard and keeping the comment section alive. I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And we are out of here. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.